Hey there, welcome to day 222 of our BU 365 day challenge. My great graphic here with my little relaxed bar of soap from the Soapy Sisters and our soap framework. Today we're talking about the O in the soap framework with respect to the area of confidence that we've decided we're going to work on. I'm working on having more confidence, interacting with my sisters as we're helping my mom move. And it might not sound like a big deal, but all of our families have different dynamics and mine is no exception. And each of us sisters are similar in a lot of ways, but we're also very different in a lot of ways in terms of how we approach difficult situations. And helping my mom move, she's a lot like me. She saves a lot of things and has a lot of things, and she is attached to her things just like I am. I'm attached. Everything I keep, although it looks kind of funny and cluttered and weird, has some meaning to me, some sentimental reason, some event. It reminds me of some experience that I've had that has positive connotations. I like to surround myself with positive things. My mom is the same way. And so it's an interesting project. It's a big project. But I want to make sure that this time, and then again when we have to move her and help her move when she leaves her house in Texas someday, I want to make sure that I'm confident in my way of handling it so that I have a positive impact on everyone involved, right? Including myself, because I want it to be a good experience. It should be a reminiscing, fun experience for us, not a hurry up and rush and stressed out, crazy experience, which is, again, each of my sisters and I take a different approach to things, and that makes for a lot of interesting interactions. So my area of confidence that I'm working on throughout the challenge and applying the SOAP framework to is that situation. What is my current story? And that, of course, takes into account past experiences that we've had doing this. We've done this before, and a lot of emotional explosions and things have happened and ramifications. And I don't want that to happen this time or ever again. I want us to pull together and make it a fun project. So that's what I'm working on. So what are my options for that? Today I'm going to brainstorm, and we've done a lot of different we've used different tools to help us to brainstorm and come up with options. Whenever we're faced with a situation that's different than we want it to be, we want to consider a lot of options, not just one or two. So often we try to keep our life simple and we give ourselves one or two possibilities of how to handle, especially a challenging or difficult situation. We want to get it over with as quickly as possible. So a lot of times we'll take the path of least resistance, which many times it isn't the best alternative. It isn't the best option for us. So with the O in the SOAP framework, I make myself always come up with at least 10 different possibilities, as crazy or far-fetched as they might seem, and as little as the problem might seem. If I make myself brainstorm 10 things, and for a lot of things, for little problems, little situations, I'll just do that in my head really, really quickly, and I'll say, okay, these are the top 3. Let's analyze those top 3, and then I pick among them, because I'm not narrowing myself into that dreaded either-or path that we often put ourselves in. I remember thinking when I was married and very unhappy that I could either stay married in this difficult situation that I was used to, or I would blow up my entire life. Now, if those were my only 2 options, staying in a difficult situation or blowing up my entire life, because I knew it would I want to take either of those actions? No, but I would pick the lesser of 2 evils, and that was to stay in the situation that I was in, which wasn't good for me, and I needed to get out of it. And so whenever we talk ourselves into it's this thing or that thing, even if it's a good thing and a bad thing, we're probably not considering the best alternative for us. So I make myself say, okay, there's a lot more than 2 possibilities for any situation, any problem. There's a lot more than 2 solutions to anything that happens to us. But I think that as kids, it's the right answer or the wrong answer. We learn that in school. We're so inundated into picking among 2, and maybe if it's a multiple choice test, 4 alternatives. But we never give ourselves 10. And if we give ourselves 10, we have a lot more possibilities and a lot more ways of going with our solutions. So 10, we come up with 10, and then today we're going to pick 3 of those 10, and I just make a list in my book. Now I've gotten it to a system of simpleness. What are my confidence options to get me from my current situation to my desired situation? What are some of the possible ways I could do that? And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do that today, especially as I go about my day interacting with my family. I'm sure more ideas will come to me. And then of those, I'll just put a little circle around the 3. And tomorrow we'll hop into the A, which is action. But before we take action, we have to analyze the alternatives and decide what is the one we want to act on first. Sometimes we'll pick 3. Sometimes of the 10, we'll know we're going to do 5 of them to get us from where we are to where we want to be. But we just want to decide and choose among those alternatives. What are we going to do first? What are we going to do second? What are we going to do if what we do first doesn't give us the results we want? Do we have to do it again, or are we going to pick a different alternative, etc.? So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Options, 10 and 3. You can use Power Vision Movie we've talked about. We've talked about visualization. We've talked about meditation. We've talked about Post-it note and just having a Post-it note or a notebook or a piece of paper or a napkin with you during the day. And just as things pop into your head that you could possibly do to help move you from A to B or C to D. I like C to D, current to desired. Then you just jot them down, and it's easy to come up with 10. We tell ourselves, oh, it's so hard, but it's really not. It's super duper easy, especially if we open up our minds and we let our imagination fill it in for us. If we take off some of the limits and the limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves, it's really easy to come up with 10 alternatives to just about any problem imaginable. If you are struggling, hit me up and I will help you brainstorm, because it's one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world. One of the best tools we can ever have at our fingertips is being able to look at and see and pull different alternatives of our experiences in the past and what we want to experience in the future. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.